Hello again, this is part 2 of my chiptune player bonanza. Today I got my second SID player here. I built this in I think 99. It has a 658116, a 40 character by 2 row VFD, a cartridge that contains an EEPROM that has the songs on it. And then this was my idea to, for replaceable music in 1999. SD cards really weren't around back then. Headphone jack and an infrared receiver for the remote control. This is like a CD player remote. I got this at Walmart for 25 cents a long time ago, and I used it on here. So if I hit the play pause button, it should fire up and it'll play an example tune to the built-in speaker. Turn that down. Now I can also see other things, like this is song 4 of 55, subtune 1 of 15. And then I believe I'll change the subtune and then that'll start it. There's a keypad on the top. And I can also do that with the remote here. I can hit the button and it'll so if I want to hear one of those, I can. How's that work? If I hear one of those, I can select it and then hit the button. It will load it. This one is stereo like the last one. So here's how the buttons work. 1 and 4 are the next SID, previous SID, next subtune, previous subtune, start, stop, next tune, which will go through the subtunes, and then the SID tunes after that. So I have to load it first, obviously, and then 3, 6, and 9 will turn various channels on and off. So if you want 2 and 3 on either left or right, you can do it, or totally off. And then this changes the volume. And then second will show the artist in this case. And then enter lets you type one of the entries in. And it'll go to there. And then enter also shows a few other things like load address, initialization address, play address, CPU usage. And clear pauses. And 0 goes to, like I said, to the next one. And if it doesn't like it, it'll do that. And then help turns the power on and off. So that's the basics. Now I'll open it up and show how it works inside. Before I open it up, here's a good top-down view. You can see the keypad here on the front. It's that Jupiter Lander cartridge, which actually has the EEPROM in it. And then on the back, simply there's RCAs for left and right audio, power, and a reset button. First things first, inside the cartridge, piece of perf board with an EEPROM on it and a socket. After a little bit of fighting, I got it open. I'll start unplugging stuff here. headphone jack, and then the infrared receiver for the remote. There's a headphone jack and the infrared receiver. Display cable. So that's a who made that? That's a Futaba VFD actually. I got that at a surplus store. Move these connectors. Speaker. Reset button. SID signals and power. We'll start with the top here. There's the bottom of the keypad. This is a mute circuit. So the audio from the SID chips runs through this mute circuit. So when it's switching tunes, it doesn't make popping noises, and this is done with a dual op amp. And what it does is it sets the gain to 0 via some transistors from this logic signal, and that mutes it during that transition, then you don't hear it. Then on this board there's a little PIC 16C84, if that says how old this is. And this is running the keypad, the infrared receiver, and it's running the volume control too. And here's the chip that does the volume. Op amp, the LM3A6 audio amp. FET that turns everything on, 5-volt buck regulator, 5-volt linear and 12-volt linear for the SID chips. And then the most important thing, this resistor between the RCA jacks. That's the mixing resistor, so left and right aren't so separated. Without that, it doesn't sound very good, but with that, it sounds awesome. Moving along. Here's the bottom. There's a 80 macro cell Intel Flex Logic CPLD, like on a couple of my other early things. 65816. The EEPROM that holds the menued code, and then a 120K SRAM, 2 SID chips, and then a port chip, latch, and then the socket for the cartridge. There's a 14.318 megahertz oscillator and a PIC 12C508 acting as a divider, and then a 4046 PLL. And what happens here is this will properly generate the NTSC and PAL clock rates to run the SID chip, so the pitch of the music is proper. There's another PIC 16C84 and an EEPROM, and this is loading the fuse map into the CPLD through the JTAG port. And then that's pretty much it. And the 65816 here actually emulates the 6502 well enough to run most SID tunes. Some of them that don't work, that have like invalid opcodes, so I've hacked a couple, but most of them I just can't listen to them. And then I have some resistor networks in series with the address and data lines on the SIDs to keep the noise out. So that's the look inside the second SID player, and I will play a couple tracks through the RCA jacks like before and superimpose it on top of the video so you can hear a clean rendition. And I suggest using headphones if you want to hear the pseudo stereo effect of the filters, because this has 470 PF and 2200 PF, so the filters are different. And there's different SID chips too, so that makes it sound really warbly and neat through headphones. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll follow it here with a couple selections played on this device for your listening pleasure. And as an extra little added bonus, if you unplug the cartridge and turn it on, it does a little thing where it will play a demo tune and tell you to turn the power off before inserting or removing the cartridge.